welcome back to episode 11 of Me, You, and the DCEU. Thank you so much for joining me. Two things happened over the weekend, both involving the Justice League reshoots. We're going to get to that. Joss Whedon apparently is changing the ending, and Ben Affleck talks a little bit about the Justice League reshoots and his experience working with Snyder and Whedon. So we're going to get to both of that, but first I want to show you guys a poster that came up on the internet over the weekend. This poster is from Japan. It's a Japanese Justice League poster. Look how awesome it looks. I think it looks great. I love their faces unmasked on the top. I can't read Japanese for shit, but all in all, I think it looks great. The Age of Heroes is certainly coming in the DCEU. Alright, so the first of two pieces of information that I released this weekend regarding the Justice League reshoots. The first one is official. It comes from Ben Affleck via an interview he did with Entertainment Weekly. And in the interview, he talked about how unorthodox it felt working with both Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon. He mentions the tragedy that Zack Snyder experienced with his family and how he left, and how Joss Whedon coming in, how Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder brought in Joss Whedon was the best thing to happen for Justice League during that time. And he also talks about how both filmmakers have such unique visions, really strong takes, and how that he's never experienced that before making a movie. You know, he praises both Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon. He goes on to talk about how good of a time it is to be working in the DCEU, how DC is picking up their stride. According to Affleck, all is well. So my takeaway on this is that it's just Affleck being Affleck. He knows how to handle the press. He knows what to say, so on and so forth. And I do believe him when it comes to Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder. I think he enjoys working with both directors. It's definitely probably a different kind of production with Joss Whedon on board. There's no saying just how extensive these reshoots are, but you got to believe that Joss Whedon can get the job done. I think he's going to take what Snyder started and deliver it to the finish line. We're going to get a great film. I think it's going to be amazing. A little bit of Snyder, a little bit of Whedon. I mean, as a comic book fan, could you ask for anything more? Two visionary directors. We know Zack Snyder has his own style of filmmaking. We know Joss Whedon, when he makes a comic book movie, he makes it fun, fast-paced, exciting. I mean, when did Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon working on a comic book movie together become a bad thing? I don't see any bad in this. I think Affleck is loving it. I think the cast is loving it. And all in all, I think we're going to get a great movie. So, I mean, what's new? So next up comes a rumor. And this one, I mean, take it with a grain of salt with all rumors for what it's worth. But apparently, according to Slash Film, their editor-in-chief claims that Joss Whedon is reshooting the ending to make it feel like a more complete movie and less like a cliffhanger for Justice League 2. According to Slash Film, Justice League was originally going to end with a big cliffhanger with Darkseid arriving to Earth. This would set up essentially Justice League 2. But now, according to the rumor, that's been completely scrapped. That's not happening anymore. According to sources, Robin Wright, who played General Antiope, the awesome General Antiope in Wonder Woman, will appear more in the film via flashback to help flesh out Steppenwolf's backstory, hence maybe make him an even greater villain than I think he's going to be. Now, normally I don't like any director coming in and just, changing up the film to what the studio wants. But this ain't just any other director. This is Joss Whedon, okay? And I haven't seen the cut of Justice League. I assume neither have you. But according to Joss Whedon and Warner Brothers, the ending needed to change. I'm all for making a more complete movie. I think those movies tend to be the best movies when it's not ended off on a cliffhanger and feeling a little unsatisfied at the end. I totally buy into these comments. I love that they're giving Steppenwolf more of a backstory. And overall, I trust Joss Whedon. All right, I agree with Ben Affleck that he's the right guy to... If there was anybody who you had to bring in to finish Justice League, I think it's Joss Whedon. I think Warner Brothers, they brought in the right guy. It's obvious that Justice League 2 is probably going to be a ways off instead of maybe 2 years after this first Justice League movie. I think those plans are scrapped. But I agree with Ben Affleck, and I think Joss Whedon was the best thing to happen in Justice League. You know, given Zack Snyder's tragedy, which a lot of people out there on the internet seem to, forget that Zack Snyder went through a personal tragedy, okay? I mean, it's one thing for a studio to kick you off a movie, but it's another thing if you just, you go through something horrific and have to step away because, your family needs you, and, they get someone else like Joss Whedon to come in. So I think it's great. I want a better movie if that's what they're going to give me with Justice League. I think they know what they're doing, and I have complete faith in this movie. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this will become more of a Joss Whedon movie and less of a Zack Snyder movie? Do you think this increases the chances for co-director credit? Do you think Zack Snyder will get full credit? We've heard that Joss Whedon doesn't want any credit at all. He's doing this simply to help out a friend and to, help make a property that he's passionate about all the more better on screen. So we'll see. And let me know what you guys think about Ben Affleck's comments as well. You guys can find me on Twitter at GeoDude90. As always, subscribe, like me, you, and the DCEU. I love having a conversation regarding these movies. I love having a debate. I think it's all for fun. And also follow me on apocalypsemovies.com, and you can check out the YouTube channel there. I'm also on there as well. You can find these episodes on the Apocalypse Movies channel. But definitely subscribe and leave me a comment. Thank you for joining me.